The sun beat down mercilessly on the small stall at the side of the road, where the once proud businessman now spent his days trying to scrape together a meager living. His name was Daniel, my husband, and he had once been a successful entrepreneur with multiple shops in the bustling city. But when the economic situation of the country took a downturn, his businesses crumbled one by one until all he was left with was the small stall selling odds and ends to passers-by. My name is Sarah, his wife. I had stood by him through it all at first, believing that we would weather the storm together. But as months turned into years and our financial situation grew more and more dire, a rift began to form between us. I had grown tired of struggling to make ends meet, tired of worrying about where our next meal would come from. And so, after 15 years of marriage, I made the difficult decision to leave Daniel and start a new life without him. Daniel begged and pleaded with me to stay, promising that he would find a way to turn our fortunes around. But I had had enough. I packed my bags and left, not looking back even as Daniel fell to his knees in despair. Heartbroken and devastated, Daniel struggled to make sense of his new reality. He felt like a failure as he watched me walk away, unable to provide me with the life I had grown accustomed to. But as the days turned into weeks and weeks turned into months, a spark of determination began to flicker within him. With nothing left to lose, Daniel threw himself into his work, pouring all his energy into making his small stall a success. He worked long hours, barely stopping to eat or sleep, driven by the desperate need to prove to himself and to me that he was more than just a failed businessman. And slowly, things began to change. People started to take notice of Daniel's hard work and dedication, and soon, his stall became one of the most popular in the area. He began to earn enough money to not only support himself but to start saving for the future. One day, as he was setting up his stall, a familiar face appeared before him. It was Mariah, a woman who had been a loyal customer from the very beginning. She looked at Daniel with admiration in her eyes and told him that she had always believed in him even when he had lost faith in himself. Mariah's words struck a chord in Daniel's heart, and he realized that he was not alone in his struggles. With Mariah by his side, he found the strength to pick himself up and start anew. They fell in love and soon got married, beginning a new chapter in their lives together. Meanwhile, I had moved on with my life, finding comfort in the arms of a wealthy man who promised me a life of luxury and ease. But as time went on, cracks began to form in our relationship. I discovered that my new husband had a mistress, and our life together was not as perfect as I had once thought. Regret gnawed at my heart as I realized the mistake I had made in leaving Daniel. I missed the simple joys of our life together, the moments of shared laughter and love that had sustained us through the hard times. And as my new marriage crumbled around me, I couldn't help but wonder what might have been if I had stayed with Daniel. In the end, I learned the hard way that true happiness cannot be bought with money or material possessions.